Okay, YouTube, today I bring you a video that's been requested too many times. I don't know why they keep requesting it, but it's been requested too many times. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're just going to look at stances, and we're going to pick the best stance for each character. So it's going to be, that's mainly the point of the video. If you want to know what stance to use for your character, just wait for it to come up. I'm doing them in order of release in Brawlhalla. This isn't a tier list, don't worry about that. I just use the tier list maker so I can get the characters laid out. But yeah, I want to get right into it because this shouldn't take that long. So Bodvar, I say the best answer for Bodvar is speed, and then explain why. Bodvar doesn't really need anything. He has 6 decks, which lets you have Enlight Sidelight on Hammer and other stuff on Hammer that you would want. Russian Mafia 150, stuff like that. So you don't lose it for having less decks, but if you take away the decks on Bodvar, right, you get Force, and you don't really need that either. He's going to be killing at the same point. He has a good amount of Force. So losing the Force for speed, and that's definitely the breaking point of like 5 speed to 6 speed. That's where I personally notice it the most. You don't go defense because obviously it makes you have 4 speed. That's really bad. 5 speed to 6 speed is like a big jump for me. So I would recommend like 6 speed. 6 speed characters are all the best characters to me. When you get 6 and above, is when it starts to matter the most. That's why I would say take speed on Bodvar. So yeah, let me duplicate that. I'm just gonna rename all of these real quick. I should have done this before I started the video, but it's whatever. Actually, can I even do that? No, I can't. Whatever. Okay, so this is that, and for Bodvar, oops, that's not the one. It should be this one. Okay, so for Bodvar, you want speed, just like that. All right, Cassidy. This one's pretty straightforward. She has a lot of decks and it's being put to waste. Luckily, when you take away the decks, it goes to defense. You can't take away speed because it makes you have 3 defense, and Force makes you have 3 speed. The only reasonable one, because you don't want more decks, is to take away the decks for the defense. That's literally the only reasonable one. So we're going to put that. Cassidy wants defense. Alright, Orion. Orion, I would recommend Force. He's at 4, so you don't really want to move up with it. Defense works too, so I would say Force or defense. The reason I would say, like, if I had to just like pick one off the bat, I would give it Force over defense. And the reason I would give it Force over defense is because, yes, Dex is bad, so you want to take away the Dex to add on to the defense, but he actually will lose Sarah and Light on Spear for that on White, so you just keep it because it's not that big of a gap. He has good defense already, so going up to 7, kind of not overdoing it. Defense is always good, especially with his high speed, but I think adding the Force, getting him a bit more damage, keeping all his true combos, and then still having a good defense like 5 plus 6 speed is a really solid stat spread. This just looks like a really good stat spread overall. Nothing's overdone. And yeah, he could stand to lose he could stand to lose the decks, but like it doesn't mean like anything that much, to be honest. So put Force on Orion. Lord Vrax, simple one. He has an overwhelming amount of defense too, just like the what's her name. The thing is, you don't actually want to take anything out, and I would argue that you just use this or base. There's no reason to not use this. This is basically base. This is the best stance. I would say that if I was like looking at everything, base stance doesn't count, so I'm not gonna say base stance, but this is the best stance you can use, mainly because everything else takes away from something he's already lacking in. You don't want to play 3 Force to get that defense. 4 defense is okay, I guess. Speed is taking away from defense, and you don't want to play 3 defense. So, Force again would be the best one for that character too. 2 Forces in a row. Okay. Nash. Nash is special, mainly because adding Dex doesn't give him anything that you want. I think it might give you Enlight Sidelight on on high defense characters, but you don't really want that, to be honest. You don't want it to lose the Force. I would say you take away the defense, because if you take it away, you don't lose anything at all. Like 3 going to 2, you actually don't lose anything. Whereas 4 going to 3, you lose something. 3 to 4, you gain something. But that gain is not worth it. That gain is not worth going off of a base. Again, if base was an option, you still wouldn't take it because this is just better than base. This is better than base, and then adding the dex is not worth it, basically. Speed is also a thing you can look at, but I just think that's going too hard. I would say defense on Nash is the best. Duplicate that. Alright, that's Nash. Oh, I want to move this over a little bit. Alright, that's better. Okay, so Queen Eye. I don't even think I need to explain this one. I'm just gonna go get it right now, to be honest with you. Unknown 3 is speed, right? Or is it? Yeah, unknown 3 is speed, so it's not even gonna explain this one. Queen Eye wants speed over anything. There's nothing else she wants. Mainly because all of her other stats are in a good spot. You don't want to take away anything, just give her the speed and get over with it. Especially since it takes away from, something she doesn't even care about. Yeah, it takes away from the 8 defense, so it's really worth. Okay, Hattori. Hattori, I recommend speed stance, mainly because, how do I put this? I'm coming off of using defense stance. Speed is the most important stat in the game, but I'm coming off of using defense stance, and I can tell you that I haven't died earlier from 5 to 4 defense. So 5 to 4 defense is not noticeable. It's not. I don't think it's worth taking away the speed from 5 to 4 defense. This is me explaining why I use speed stance. Using 5 to 4 defense is not going to save you as much as you think it is. It really is not. So I just don't think it's worth using. You may argue that, okay, if you take away the speed, you're losing that combo you mentioned. I think especially if you've been playing 7 speed, going to 9 is super noticeable. It feels really good to go from 7 to 9 if you've been playing 7. If you've been playing base, then that's something else, but going from 7 to 9 is one of the most noticeable jumps you'll ever feel. I really like 9 speed Hattori. You're losing that Sarah Enla, like I mentioned earlier, but I don't think that's a problem on Hattori. I don't think it matters, honestly. I think losing a combo at white is not that big of a deal. That's the same reason I would argue Orion doesn't really matter losing that dex stance, but yeah, to get that defense. But looking at Hattori, I think giving her the speed is the most valuable thing that you can come up with. Or maybe it's just me, but if you're not using the speed, you are using defense anyway, and I can promise you it really, really is just not saving you as much as you think it is. Alright, Sir Roland, another obvious one that you go speed on, mainly because it takes away from defense again. It gives him 5 where he would have 4, noticeable. Nothing else is worth it at all, really. Taking away dex gets him 9 defense, and that's not really that valuable, maybe in 2s. But in 1s, you definitely don't want that much. You're going to notice that a lot of them are speed, and you like speed, so. Alright, this one. Scarlet. So Scarlet has high force, and perfectly enough for her, it takes away that high force to give her 5 speed. So I would recommend that you do this. Taking away dex would be giving her defense, but she's still kind of slow. You don't really want this defense. Defense is noticeable, but you really do need to start going into higher defenses for it to be that much worth for you. Like going from 7 to 8 is a big thing. 6 to 7 is okay. I think going from 5 to 6, you'd rather take the speed up from 4. 4 speed is really bad. So again, another home run for the speed team, getting speed on Scarlet. All right, so our three defense kings. Dash doesn't feel bad about it. So you really do need that defense stance on Thatch to not die, and taking away Dex. Taking away Dex is fine because you're not losing anything on either weapons at all, but you don't need that force. He's going to be killing you anyway regardless. Defense is really the only arguable thing. Adding speed is something that can be looked at. I will not sway you away from that. I think 4 defense is needed on Thatch because he's so low already. Getting him to 4 is something. I don't think going to 4 to 5 is needed. I think going from 3 to 4 is good. Going from 5 to 6, but 4 to 5 is whatever. That's why I wouldn't say you need on Hattori, especially since Hattori, you have to look at what it's taking away and giving. If you don't go the 5 on Hattori, you get the speed. But on Thatch, if you try to go for the more speed, you lose defense. But if you take away speed, it's just going down 1. It's kind of like, which one do you want? Do you want to be that fast, or you want to live another hit? Because 3 defense is really, really bad. It's like, it's really bad. I think I said I don't notice myself dying on 4 to 5, but I definitely notice myself dying on 3, especially against hammer and stuff. So, yeah, I would recommend that you take defense on Thatch, mainly because, also you're only going up to 8 speed to lose the force. So why lose the force when you could just keep it and have 7 speed? I mean 6 speed. So, and live a bit longer. It just rounds them out. Being rounded out is good, especially on a character like that. Especially since you look at both the weapons, and I don't think the weapons need it as much as Hattori's and her Sigs. Thatch's Sigs lock him down, so his speed being high don't really need you, like, you're not going to be doing much with them. Hattori needs to be loose and free when she goes for stuff like N-Sig and pivoting her down Sig and stuff, so Thatch really, I don't feel like he needs the same. He stands still for most of the Sigs. Alright, Aydah, another low defense beauty. This is obvious. Give her the defense. I'm not even going to explain this. You take away the dex that she doesn't need. You don't want to take away anything else. Everything else is super, super good numbered. I do think Aydah has a good stat spread, honestly, though. If maybe you give her more defense for dex, but, like, obviously, but that would make her something else, right? So I think she actually has a nice stat spread. Give her the defense. Give her the defense. Alright, that's Aydah on defense. Can't really move it over. That's unlucky. Okay, second row. Sentinel. Now, Sentinel is special because he can take away dex for force, and his other 2 stats are already super, super good. But you can also take away force for this. I would just say you take away the force because, again, I mean, the thing with this is, I like this, mainly because he has hammer. So going into low damage numbers on hammer is not breaking you. It's not that bad. On Katars, however, going into damage numbers like these with 4 is not good. That's like Lucian territory, and it's just not what you want. You really do need the damage. You will notice it. However, his Sigs have high damage on their own, and hammer is still going to kill when it kills. Hammer is a good thing, and his Sig force is also good. So I honestly would take speed over force, and I do think force is the next best thing you can take, mainly because it takes away the defense. But you're also on that 4 dex range where you can do N-Light, Sidelight on higher defense characters, and you're still good. You're good. You're bottom rounded on this, so it's high defense, high speed. But that's really good. That's really good. Like you're not any worse off than Hattori here on this character, except your weapons can actually kill. So I really would recommend going speed here. Another one for team speed. I think we can do like a count them all at the end. Let's copy 6 of speed. Bring him down here. Alright, team speed going crazy today. Lucian, I'll just get it ready up for you guys. You want to go force. The reason you want to go force is because 3 on both his weapons is way too low to do anything. It's really, really bad to have that low force on a character that has guns and guitars, because you're already doing like comparably low damage for the other weapons. Now, if I had to say what else could you use, right? Defense is the only one. You don't need to be going 9 speed Lucian. And you can argue the same thing that you argued for Hattori, but Hattori's not doing Lucian damage numbers. He's not doing it. Katara and Light does like 12 damage. Hattori doesn't do that, so that's why I would say that it's actually different. Like, yes, from here you're going from 7 speed to 8, which is, like I said, was noticeable, and trade off the defense. This is actually not bad. This is not bad. The thing is, you are doing baby hits with your attacks. You are not killing anything. You do not play this shit into Baraza and have fun. You barely play Hattori into Baraza and have fun. So I will say that this is a thing you can look at. This is not bad either. He has actually good stances. This is terrible. But this is, you need this. You actually need it compared to the other stuff. That's why I would put that there. Okay, Terrace. Now, Terrace is broken because he has good stats everywhere. This is good. This is not good. You don't want this. This is good. This is good. And this is fine. It's not terrible. I would recommend the speed, mainly because it takes away the dex like Nash. and the speed is always good to have. He's already well-rounded in other places, so going 8 force is so good already. I don't see why you would ever take away the force to add to the dex. Doesn't really make sense. It just gives you that little bit of damage at the start, like I said, so not really worth it, especially not on Terrace where his stats look like that. So what did I say? Speed? Yeah, another member of the speed gang. Okay. Okay. Oops. Okay, so Terrace, you want speed? Bryn. Nah, Bryn. I like Bryn. And I like her stats. She has super well-rounded stats. She can't do Sarah and Light already. So you taking away Dex gives you nothing, and you giving it is not worth taking away speed for that, if that makes sense. This is good. This is not good. This is not that good. I would recommend... base, I can't recommend, but base is fine. I would recommend base if I could. But if I had to say use a stance, I'd say strength is the best on her. High damage on axe and spear are both good, especially since she's already super fast. And the defense going up would take away from the force, and going into 4 force is not really worth it, to be honest. Going into 5 is good. I mean, going into 6, that's right. Yeah, 6 is good, so I would say you go force on her. Boom. Okay. 16 minutes. I might have to make this 2 parts. I think when we get to here, I'll split the video into the second part. That'll be fine. Alright, Hattori. Let's see. What do you want on Hattori, right? Force is the best. You don't want that. You don't want 3 force on Katars. Taking away the defense isn't worst. You just go force here. Another duplication glitch. Just like that. And you give her force. It's the best option. I want to move this over just slightly. I don't like where it is. Doesn't line up with her head, but it's whatever. It's not going to, even if I try. It's because Hattori's head is too big. It's stupid. Yeah, it's because Hattori's head is too big, but whatever. Baraza, obvious one, speech stance. Takes away from the defense, but he can't stand to lose anything else. Doesn't really want to. I don't really need to explain that one. Boom. Ember, 3 defense. Champions always want the defense. So, let me make sure though. Ember, yeah, that's probably the best you're gonna get. Don't want that. Don't want that. This is not bad, honestly. But 3 defense hurts. Like 4 is good, 3 is not. But this is not bad. I would say you could use this, but I'm gonna give her the defense stance. I mean, just cause. Boom. Alright, Azoth. Wee. Speed is nice. Takes away the force. That's not that important. His 6 kill early anyway. Taking away Dex gives you defense. Arguably okay, but 5 speed. Like I said, anything below 5 speed is getting into unplayable territory. 5, 4, 3, 2. It's not good. That's why even now with 4 speed is not good. So it's getting really bad. 5 is bearable. You would want 6, but 5 is bearable, so you have to give it to him. I think any character that has below 4 speed, you have to give the 5 to, always. Same, just like Baraza takes the... I think Baraza has 4 on base and then takes it to 5. You have to. Koji. I rock defense Koji because it takes away Dex and he has 8. I'm not even gonna go look at the other ones. You should take defense Koji. It doesn't give you anything for Dex at all. Okay, Algrim. I'm pretty sure this is the thing. This is absolutely broken. Gives you 7 speed. This is already super peaked. You don't need this as much as you think you do. It's fine, but you really don't. This is also good. This is something I would say you play in 2s. So defense is fine. And Costlix plays this. Don't be like Costlix. This is really, really good. This is like insane. I would recommend speed on all of them. Which one is speed? I wish they were in order, but that's my fault, I guess. Beep, 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 beep. Alright, the bottom ones are speed, remember. Duplicate. Diana, speed. And I'll explain in a second why. We'll go look at them. So Diana takes away Dex, doesn't need it. Defense would take defense would be taken away from force, and she gets into 4 territory on guns and bow, which already do low damage chips. Except for bow aerials have high, but like you don't really care. She has a good defense. I think 5 is solid defense. Like I said, unless you're going from like 7 to 8, 8 to 9, like pushing it. If you want, like Thor, for example, defense is pushing it, and it takes away from force. When you're pushing it, it's good, but if you're not pushing it, if you're just like a middle ground, like 6, 5, 4, I don't really think you need it. You need to go from 3 to 4, and then 4 to 5, reasonable. But going from 5 to 6 is irrelevant. 6 to 7, not that insane. 7 to 8, 8 to 9, that's crazy. You want that. So yeah, that's why you take speed on Diana. It also takes away Dex, and that's always a good thing. Jala, obvious, take away Dex, goes to defense. That doesn't need to be explained. She has 3 defense. I've already stated how I feel about that. Duplicate. Jala. Okay. Core is a cool character that you can take away Dex on, and the thing is, he's at that speed territory where you need to give him a speed. You would like to take away defense, but it's not really worth it. I would say you give him that speed, take away make him have, what, this is his 6 defense, that's fine. He has 7 without it. Core, I think, that, I just really think that breaking point of speed is really important, so. Bottom ones are speed. They're all speed, so it doesn't matter. Duplicate. Core gets speed. Wushang. Oh, Wushang is simple for me. Force, because it takes away Dex, and everything else is already well-rounded. I like speed, though. I would say that speed is good. 5 to 6 is, like, okay. 5 to 6 is, like I said, for me, the difference. But force is, like, the most reasonable, mainly because it takes away the Dex, and it gives him a good force spread. He has, like, good gauntlets or like low damage, so you want the damage, and then spear is good damage, so it's fine, just more damage, I guess. Nothing else is worth it. You don't take away speed, you don't give Dex. Only ones that are reasonable are getting speed and getting force, and like I said, you don't really need to be going into 4. I don't think you should ever go into 4. Like, don't go into it. If they are 4, I'm not saying add on, but you should never go into it, so this is the best thing. Low Wushang, low or force, top ones. Okay, low Wushang with a little bit of force. It's not bad. All right, Val. Now Val, I haven't seen in a while. I don't actually remember. So this is trolling, but I think I have this, but I wouldn't actually use that. I'd use base before I use that. This is not bad. It's not good either though. This is the best. Yeah, this is what you run. You run defense on Val. Takes away the Dex, you don't lose anything for that, and you don't need to add force from 4, like I said. Orion's the only character where you add force from 4, and like I said, I would actually rather use base Orion than add the force, or defense. Maybe I should change Orion to defense, honestly. I might. Thing is, now I have to go find him. Oh my god, lol. He's in the force category, so you delete his force, and then you give him defense, honestly. Okay. It's not bad. You really don't need to add defense to anyone. I mean, add force to anyone. If you're on 4, it's one thing, but like, you don't want to take it away. You don't. Defense is just like better, I guess. It doesn't really make sense to add, because force and the way force and defense works is defense is literally just better force. You can probably just switch on it matchup based. Like if you're against Baraza, you want the strength, you take it. If you're not, you don't. Okay. So yeah, Wushang though. Like I said, you want the force because it takes away from Dex. The defense, I mean the speed would be nice too because it tends you into 4, but don't go away from it. Just like, you know, like don't go to 5 because you're at 4, but don't go below 4. Don't take it away because 4 doesn't matter, and don't go from 5 to 4. All right, so Val defense stance, like I see it, duplicate. Ragnar is in a weird spot because I think his stats are solid, right? 6 speed is obviously necessary, so I use speed, I'm pretty sure. But his stats are pretty solid, and this is not bad either. I would recommend speed or defense. You don't want to really mess around with the force. I recommend speed. The reason I would recommend speed is because 5 to 6, like I said, that difference. I know Noel also uses speed because 5 to 6 is just like 5 to 6 is really, really good. But that being said, I don't know. Defense, arguably the best, mainly because it takes away dex. I would say if I had to, like, I'm not looking at what I like, not looking at 5 to 6, I would say defense is the best, just because it is. Like, I don't know. The just what it does is the most important, and what it takes away from is the most important. So defense. Now crossy cross. I know Boomy takes away defense on dex on his cross. I don't remember why though. Oh, because they give him speed. This is the best easily. Everything else is already super high. You don't need to push it. Let's see what pushing defense would do. Take away speed, so you don't want that. And it gets him from 5 to 6. So that's a good point. Really would recommend speed on cross, like by a lot. There's nothing else you want. Little duplication glitch. Do I have to make this 2 videos? 26. It's already too late, honestly, because the second one would be too short. Mirage, we can just speed it up. Mirage, defense, because it has high force and you need the defense. Her speed is not good, though, but you can't take it away. You can't add the speed because it takes away the defense, so just take away force, add defense. Where is that? That. Boom, boom, boom. Give Mirage some defense. Alright, Nyx. Take away Dex, I'm assuming. Yeah, that's super good. This is super good. I think there was another character with this exactly. Don't remember. But yeah, you can go check. Speed is what you take away. Giving her this is not really worth it. Maybe in like a Baraza matchup or something. This is not worth it either. Honestly, taking the extra defense against Baraza to match it is better than taking the force. Dex is not what you want. Yeah, speed is the go-to on her. Alright, Mordex. Now, Mordex has a really good stat spread already. And you can take away the Dex, and it gets force. I don't think you should do that. I think he has, what, 6 force? I think take it away and give him defense is better. 5 defense to 6, like I said, is unnoticeable. If I had to pick, the reason I will say that you take away the Dex here is because if I had to pick, base is the best, and then this is just better base because you take away the Dex. So force is the best stance on Mordex. But I do think I always like giving things speed. Speed is just like my go-to. But I think if we're being reasonable, force is better. Yumiko, take away Dex, you have to. And it gives it 2 strength. That's not bad. You can't do this because it goes to 3, but this is not bad, so I would say strength on Yumiko. I've been running strength on Yumiko for like, if you remember, I used to main Yumiko, and when I did, I played strength on her. I think that's the only thing you can play. Pretty sure this character has 8 speed. Yeah, 9. Yeah, this is not fair. And this is literally just another Hattori train, so you take it. Jesus. 9 speed Lance, by the way. What the fuck? Okay. Move him down. Are we making good time? 30 minutes. This is going to be a long video. Caspian. Defense for force, not bad. Looking at other things. Don't want that. Don't need this. This is not bad, but you don't need it. It's on 9 speed, so it's not really worth it. It's just 7. And he has 4 defense to 5. The thing is, the 4th is overwhelming him. You don't really need this much force. He has low things, though. Base is not bad. Honestly, personally, I run speed, but I think defense is the most reasonable to run. Now, when I say personally I run speed, it's because I like speed. I think it is better to run defense. That's why I'm going to put it. So, like, there's characters where I think I like Mordex, I like speed, but it makes more sense to run base, and Dex, taking away Dex is just better base. So, okay, looking next is Sidra. This is an easy one. You take away the Dex because it gives her nothing, and it gives her 7 defense. Kind of insane. This is, again, a character where you go, oh, I like the base, and this is just better base. You don't want more force, so I'm not going to look at it. You want more speed, but it takes away from defense, so you don't really need it. Adding defense is just better base. Better base, better base. A lot of characters are just better base, it feels like. You're fine with them at their base. Like, Nash was better base too. You're fine with them at their core, their base stance, but then you realize that if you take away the dex from the base stance, it doesn't do anything. So you're willing to take away the dex. Now, this character has, in ones, you need this, because force speed is not playable, and you don't need 9 force. But in twos, you need this, so because you move around a lot more with your cannon moves. So in ones, I recommend speed. Speed at the bottom. Boom. Duplicate. Kaya. Okay, Kaya has low force, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. And I think she has a problem KOing. Both her weapons are not fit for KOing without getting super late. Base is the best, but force is just better base and getting her away from 4. That being said, like I said, you don't need to get away from 4. You don't need to add on from 4. The thing is, if you were to keep it the same, right, you'd be at base. Kaya is another situation with better base, and the better base is taking away dex. You lose nothing for this, so just the right thing to do. Yeah, so force Kaya, it helps with her killing problems very slightly, but I don't know. There's literally just nothing better, and it is the better base. Better base, better base, better base. Boom. Okay. Aydah. Takes away from what? This is nice, but you need speed. You have to take speed because he's at 4. Jiro. Ignore this. I got paid to do this. I'm not kidding. Okay, Jiro. You have to do this because he's at 3 defense. But this is kind of nice. Not gonna lie, this is kind of nice, but you have to do this. Defense. Right at the bottom. This is good. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Lin Fei. Lin Fei has really high dex, so she's just shit already, like, period. And you take it away. And she has really low force, too. Like, this character just sucks. Her stats are just terrible. Because she has low force on weapons that... She has low force on weapons that need force to kill you. And then she has no dex. I mean, she has 2 high dex, so... And they don't need dex. She doesn't get any true combos for these. They literally... She had true combos for them, and they removed it. So, she just gets nothing. It's not worth it. You have to run strength. So it takes away from the dex and adds to the force. If you were to run defense, it would take away from the force, so it's terrible. And you can't run speed because it takes away from the defense, so... Yeah, there's nothing else to take besides force, which is unfortunate for her, so unlucky. I think force is at the top. Okay. Okay, Zario. Zario has a nice base, but she's at 4 speed, so you have to add the speed. That's self-explanatory. Don't think anything else is worth it. What's taking away dex? That's fine. You're going to 8, and that's the push I like. I think that's... What does Baraza have at base? 1 sec. Baraza. Yeah, he goes to 5. You really do need to go to 5. It's noticeable. Going to 8 is nice, and it costs you dex, so I would say if you like it, then you can take this, but this is 4, 5 is... 4 is not playable, so you need the speed. Speed is at the bottom. Rayman. I like Rayman. He's cool. He has well-rounded. Slink's his base is good. You're probably looking at a better base situation where you just take away the dex. Yeah. And it goes to speed too, so it's all around worth. You don't want to add force, and taking away defense takes away from speed, so what's the point? Just give him the speed. Better base, better base. Now, you will notice that there is not a fucking single dex stance on this list. Because why the fuck would you take dex on anyone, right? Dusk. Or Nimue for me. You need the defense, obviously. Bro, he has so much dex and it's just shit. It's so wasted. What the fuck? You can't even take it away from this because the other two are just so low that you have to invest into them. Speed takes away defense, so you can't use it, so you have to use defense. Yikes. Dusk is so good. Like, his SIGs are good, his weapons are nice, but his stats are just so bad that you can't play him. They're really bad. Fate, broken character. Use speed, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, not fair at all. Defense is nice, I will say. You don't... I don't know. It's like Hattori. You just go the extra speed. If you were to get defense, it'd take away force. You don't really care. Scythe could use the damage, and Orb has really good damage numbers too, so it's fine. So add the speed onto her. Boom. Alright. Almost done. Thor. You don't want that. This is actually, this is good. Cause 5 to 6, but it's same research in Ragnar where this is just like even more of a push. Like you literally won't die. You just won't die, and this is like, you're okay on speed, and you won't die. And Dex is whatever, but you can take it away if you want. So I say speed is nice, but defense is just like the go-to. You just won't die, and your force is fine. Doesn't really matter. Like, just imagine playing Thor and they can't kill you. It's just hilarious. Duplicate. Petra. I think you want to take away Dex from Petra. No, I don't like that. It's not really good. This is the best speed. Okay, Vector. Character doesn't see enough play. No, his stats are really good. What the fuck? This is probably a better base. You don't really want to take away from it. What does X take away? Force. Yeah, this would be the better base because Bow could use the damage and Lance is Lance. So I think you take Force just because it's a better base on him. Force at the top. Okay, Volkov. Volkov has really high dex, which is unfortunate for him, but it's not that bad. You want to take away the dex, obviously. He has 8, Jesus. You want to take it away, obviously. Goes to force. Speed takes away force and you're dipping into 3, you don't want that. That's unfortunate. Volkov is so crazy, but his stats are just not up to par. Give him force though. Nothing else to give him. Onyx, sick character. This is just insane. Like, this is crazy. This is better though, to be honest with you. I would recommend this. Speed. I will say that defense stance is nuts. You don't want to take away the force though, so it's not really what you're looking for, to be honest. Duplicate. Boom. Boom. Okay, Jaeyoon, and 40 minutes, but whatever, we made it, guys. Jaeyoon has really nice base stats, a king in the base stat department, and then you take away the little Dexy Dex or the force, but I don't think that's what you want. I think you take away force here if you can. It gives you speed. This is worth, especially since the damage numbers are good on these weapons, and 6 force won't be the difference between you killing on sword or not. I think this is really good, having this much speed. The defense is solid. You can't take away... taking away Dex doesn't give you anything good. It just gives you more force, so it doesn't really matter. Speed is my stat. Speed is what I would recommend on Jaeyoon, so... Duplicate. Now, you're seeing a lot of defense and speed, and that's just because I think those are the two best stances in the game. You're going to want them more times than you don't. Usually when you pick a defense character, it's because they already have high speed, and when you pick a speed character, they already have high defense, and usually you're taking away from force or dex. In almost all of these scenarios, you're taking away from dex. Dex is just not that good right now, so makes sense. That being said, I don't know, I want to move this over. It's at the top. I will never find it. Oh, I found it. Okay, third try. Thank God. That being said, yeah, I don't know. It's not that big of a deal. Wow, this is going to tilt me so hard, and I can't. It's one or the other. Jesus. Okay. Maybe I can move this one over. But yeah, that's the end of the video. Hope you guys agree or disagree with it. Let me press tab so you can get a normal view. Wow, hold on, that Onyx is actually tilting me. I have to fix it. We must fix Onyx. That's Jayan, that's Onyx. Okay. Alright. So, yeah. And then we can move Jayan over a little bit too. Okay. So, that's it. Press tab so you guys can see. This is the recommended stats for every character. You can pause it here if you want to get a good look at it. I think this is pretty solid, honestly. I think most people can agree. And yeah, make sure you follow the Twitter. Follow my Twitch to see me when I'm live. I didn't do this on Twitch. I usually do tier lists and stuff like this on Twitch to see what chat thinks. But make sure you leave a comment in the description and stuff like that so I can reply and talk to you about why I think something, or reply to what you think and give you and say if I agree or disagree with you. We can just talk. So yeah, thanks for watching. Follow all the socials, join the Discord, all that good stuff. I'm gonna peace out. Later, guys.